Welcome to another interview segment of Let's Talk Stocks. I'm Fitzroy Prendergast, and this morning we have another very interesting personality with us. We have Jervis Rose. He is a portfolio officer at Cumax Wealth Management. Welcome, Jervis.
Thank you for having me, sir.
We want to talk about portfolio management. What is portfolio management, first of all?
Okay, portfolio management entails the buying, selling, reconstructing of different asset class and types, and it may vary because it depends on the client's risk tolerance as well as their financial goals. There are some key considerations in constructing a portfolio for clients. Namely, one is the objective of the client. It has to be clear what the client needs. For example, if they need income from the investment. 2, time horizon. How long do you want to invest for? Then we look at the risk tolerance of the client, and we'll assess other considerations such as liquidity needs and so on.
Right. And how does Cumax help to manage clients' portfolio in terms of the day-to-day operations? If I come into Cumax and I want to invest, what's the structure like in terms of getting me to make sure that I'm getting solid advice as to what I can do with the money that I really want to invest?
Okay, first of all, you go through the onboarding process, a KYC documentation, and you will sit with a financial advisor. And it's important that we get to understand you, the client, to get a better understanding of what is it that you want, your objectives, how long you want to invest for, what is your risk appetite. Do you want a portfolio for, say, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? Because that is important for us to know exactly about you, what your liquidity needs. We don't want you to invest today and come back for the money next week. So it's important that we get to know you, the client, first of all. And from there, we'll tell you what is available and how best we can tailor an investment portfolio to suit your needs.
Cumax was formed out of course, the partnership and the credit unions, but it is a registered, licensed organization. Tell me about that a little bit more, so persons who are not really au fait with Cumax can understand that this is a bona fide, well-organized, well-run operation.
Okay, well, Cumax Wealth Management is a subsidiary of the Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League, and it was founded out of the need to provide investment services, portfolio management for clients, not only the credit union, but for individual clients and the public at large. So Cumax is registered with the Financial Services Commission, FSC, as a securities dealers. We are also registered as a pension fund manager and pension fund administrator. So what we do is we should be the first point of contact for the credit unions, not only in Jamaica but also in the Caribbean. So that is how Cumax was born, out of a need to satisfy that market. Since the credit unions are a part of the group, we saw it fit to try and offer that service to them.
Excellent. Now, for somebody who is approaching retirement and maybe 50 and looking precariously at what it is that they're going to do in the next 10-15 years, what is available on the market that could assist somebody like that, and how can Cumax help somebody in that situation?
Okay, first let me say it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. We still have to look at the individual. Because you're approaching retirement, that means you have enough income to serve you through those years. So we'd have to look at that first. But what I can say, what is happening in the market now, is that interest rates are high compared to where we were 2 years ago, where on a treasury bill you'll be getting 1%, 2%. Now you're looking at 8%. Because of the high inflation in the market, the Bank of Jamaica have been trying to curtail that. The policy rate is at 7, and so interest rates are above that. So I would say fixed income is the way to go now. There are instruments out there, BOJ CDs, that are offered every week. We can offer you that through Cumax Wealth. You can get a coupon of 7.5, or you can go above 8 or 9% thereabout. So I would say fixed income is the way to go now, especially when the stock exchange is not doing so well right now. You can maximize or capitalize on the high interest rates in the market now, because we see that probably by the end of this year, interest rates will start to go down. So I would say for someone who at that age, you really need income to offset your expenses, medical expense, stuff like that, fixed income is the way to go. CDs, bonds, short-term instruments.
Give me a little idea of your personal career path in this field. You're a portfolio officer at Cumax. How long have you been in the industry, and is this something that you love to do?
Oh yes, well, I have a passion for investments, wealth management, and banking. I've been in industry for over 21 years, at one institution for 21 years. I was in banking for 10 and the securities industry for another 10 years. So you can say I have experience in that field. I've been at Cumax Wealth Management for 3 years now, where I'm the portfolio officer. And I am in charge of all the investment activities for the in-house accounts that we have, the unit trusts, and pension funds, as well as the managed accounts that we currently have.
Talk to us about what are your thoughts on going forward this year? Are there any opportunities, anything new that Cumax may be offering that we need to know about? I mean, Cumax is one of those, the start of the year, investment houses, wealth management firms will always have their own desire to go in a particular direction. Is there something that we should look forward to from Cumax in the market?
Well, I can say that one of the products that we have that the public on a whole, and even the credit unions are not aware of, that is doing pretty well, is the Cumax Unit Trust. We have the money market fund, which is denominated in Jamaican dollars, and it invests in short-term to medium-term instruments, fixed income, bonds, CDs. And for last year, I can say the yield, the portfolio yield on that investment was 7%. For 2023, we had a growth of about 5.4%. And I would say we're number 2 when it comes out to the money market fund when we compare it with the other units in the market. So I'll say we want to recommend that clients look at putting funds in the money market fund. If you don't have, say, $1 million, which is a minimum to invest on the most instruments, then you can always come to Cumax and we place those funds in the money market fund. We have highly competent staff, myself and financial advisors, who can guide the clients, and the returns are good. We also have the FX fund, which is similar to the money market, but is denominated in US. So if clients have US dollars, there are not much US dollar instrument coming out of BOJ right now. So the FX fund is ideal. Last year we had a portfolio yield of 4.4% on that. We also recommend that fund. Where interest rates are going, we can say that it's high now, but we see where it's going to go down further this year. And so if you have your funds in a managed portfolio, then it would cushion any blow that is coming to the market. So I would say for this year, we want to push those managed funds that we have.
As we wrap up this interview, when you look at the whole question of the economy right now, are you worried that interest rates are a little bit too high? Is it challenging investment per se? What's your read on what's happening now and how does it impact investment?
The thing is, we are trying to tame inflation, and the reason for inflation is on the supply side with what is happening with the wars and the supply chain and so on. So the only thing we do not have any control over those events. What we can do is to attack it from the demand side. So we understand why interest rate is where they're at. The policy rate is at 7 and interest rate is above that. But the rate has to be attractive in order for Jamaican investors to continue to invest in Jamaica. So that is why the rate is where it's at. In the US, their policy rate or Fed rate is about 5.25 to 5.5. So what it means is that we are above that. So people will not be converting their US dollars
Into Jamaican currencies.
right. No, what I mean is that people will not be rushing to invest in the US when the Jamaican rates are pretty attractive.
Right.
So we understand from that standpoint. But unfortunately for high interest rates, you're going to have high loan rates. So it would have an effect on businesses and individuals who want to borrow. We understand that as well. So I'm not too comfortable with the high rates as it is. We'd want it to go down along with inflation. So for now, we're just making the best use of the opportunities, but I foresee that it will start to decline in the third quarter of this year and so on. And so we have seen growth in the country, which is good. We have seen consecutive growth. So there are positives, and we understand the dynamics of the market.
Excellent. Jervis,
Yes, sir.
thank you for joining us on Let's Talk Stocks this morning. We wish you all the best at Cumax. We know that Cumax is certainly very bullish on the market and certainly looking out for investment opportunities for its clients. And so thank you again for joining us on Let's Talk Stocks.
Thank you for having me.
That's it for another interview segment of Let's Talk Stocks. I'm Fitzroy Prendergast. Join me next time for another interview segment.